that thing is no joke.
What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out another video. Today I have a really big package here waiting for me, and the second I show you guys the package, you're gonna know exactly what it is. So this took a while to get figured out, actually, because when I ordered it, they had a really limited supply left because everyone's been buying them up, and it's something I've been wanting for a while, and finally I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna buy it. And I've been having a lot of heat soaking issues, which is the reason I'm switching. The Grimmspeed top mount did a hell of a job, but on these hotter days where it's 90 degrees, the car just has no power. So what better way than upgrade the intercooler? So the Grimmspeed top mounts hold their value really well, so I should be able to sell that to offset the cost of getting the front mount as well. But I ended up getting the red piping, which I was like, whatever, that's fine. And but they didn't have the raw core either. They had the black core. And the black core is usually $100 more, but they ended up giving it to me at no extra cost because they originally fulfilled the order for the raw core and messed up, so they gave me the painted black core for free. I'm actually not going to make like a full-fledged how-to video or anything like that. What I'm going to do is just kind of do the install. If you have to know how to install it, go to Grimmspeed YouTube channel. They have an amazing write-up on step-by-step how to do it. Basically, all I'm going to do is install it and kind of check in with you guys if I have any issues that, you know, sometimes the official install videos can be misleading. You know, they'll make it look easier than it is. And so if I run into any hiccups, I'll let you know, and then I'll get this thing installed. You can see what it looks like. And I'm probably going to trim the bumper. And when I trim the bumper, I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing that. And, you know, because they don't really show that on the video. They don't trim their bumper on the video. So I'll give you some insight to that as to how I'm doing that. And then, you know, some kind of review after I have the thing on. So let's get started. So we have all of our brackets right here. We're going to need those, some bolts. Holy sh! Ow, I got shot. Oh my god. Guys, look how thick. That's a 4-inch freaking core. Damn, that has to be the heaviest, the biggest, heaviest intercooler I've ever installed in my life. Let's do this. I'm ready. Okay, we have our piping kit here now. Here's the wrinkle red piping kit. Okay, well, I got my hella horns out of the way, so I'm going to go ahead and take this bumper bar off. Only concern I really have at this point is it does look like it's using the same mounting point as the hella horns, and if that's the case, this does slide back. It has some slack in it, so I'm hoping that that allows room for me to keep my hella horns, because if I can't, that's gonna suck. And it looks like the intercooler might even hit the hella horns, so let's just go ahead and find out. Okay, it's touching the hella horns, that's for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the mounting bolts for this. I don't know, guys, that's in there really sturdy. I might not even need this top bracket, but I mean, this thing is sturdy. I'm moving the car with just these two bolts. I'm moving the entire car with these, so I think we're good. I might just skip installing these top ones because I don't want to lose my hella horns. Okay, so I did end up making these work without doing anything. Hopefully it's okay, because these are literally like tight up against the AC condenser, and I I don't know. I mean, all I did was I took a bolt, that same bolt that the frame uses. So here is the original bolt next to one that goes into the frame. Same thread pitch, same everything, just a little bit longer. So what I did was I took one of these and I just barely started threading it in, and then I put these two in and hand tightened everything, and then sent this one home and then tightened these up. So it pulled the intercooler back. I mean, I really didn't need to do that. I could literally tow the car with this intercooler right now with these brackets on. I really think I'm okay. I don't think it smashed into the AC condenser, but it might be really tight in there. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and just slap these things, or slap this thing together. I'm not too worried about it, and then if it becomes a problem, you know, I'll just remove the horns, but I didn't want to lose the horns, so. Okay, so I ran into my second issue here. The Cobb flex fuel sensor typically bolts down here where the intercooler bracket goes, but you can't bolt that on with the front mount piping that bolts down there. So what I'm going to do is route this up, and I'm actually going to do like the IBR secondary fuel controller basically bolts into the fuse box. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drill a hole through the fuse box, put this bolt with a nut through it, and then I'm going to use some black silicone to seal it up so that no moisture gets in there. There's some relays down there, but you're not really going to hit them. You got plenty of room to take this first and kind of send this down through, and then I'm going to come on the back side here, get some of the sealant kind of on there. I don't really care how. Then we're going to take this bolt with our Allen key. Okay, and then we're going to tighten this down. Have that tight. Got to get this silicone around a little bit better. Now, I'm going to put this back on. And there we go. Okay, second issue. I cannot for the life of me get that pipe, this second pipe here, down through this crack here. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep fiddling with it, but just a heads up, it's very difficult trying to get that squeezed down in there. A little update for you. I have all the piping in on this side, so now all I'm doing is the stock pipe is coming out right now, and once I have two hands, I can pull that out, and we'll start fishing the new stuff down in. So basically the worst part of this install was underneath. I could have took the tray out to make it, I gotta put the intake back on, but I could have took the tray out to make it easier, the skid plate, and I didn't take the whole tray out. I should have just took the whole tray out because I was laying on it half the time. But with a lift, this would have been so much easier, but laying on the ground, especially in the driveway on these freaking stones, it did kind of suck. Getting up in there and getting all the clamps tight and everything like that, but it's on. Well, Grimmspeed said if you install everything right, you shouldn't have to modify the bumper at all, but I guess I'm an idiot and I didn't install everything right because it's hitting both sides on these right here, so I'm going to have to cut these out. I mean, it really doesn't matter anyway. I already cut this thing all up when I had my other fog bezel, so I'm going to cut these out, and hopefully it'll snap on then. I apologize for how dark it is, but there you can see what it looked like before. That's after. Cut off a sizable chunk, and now the car can basically... Whoa, it's really bright. Now the car can basically never have fog lights again. Okay, well, I must say after the first full day of driving the car, I have no issues with it. Boost kicks in like normal. It seems like it pulls a lot harder during the daytime, whereas before it used to really just dog out in the daytime, like it just didn't want to go. And then when it would get later in the evening and start cooling down, the car would really rip. I still feel that a little bit, but I can tell a difference, which is good. So I cut up my battery box that I made a little bit more than what I wanted to, but it's still okay. You can see there, you know, I kind of cut out a little more than what I needed, but I ended up putting this piece here, this little piece of rubber. It is glued to this box and it's laying on the pipe. That way, if it does get loose, it can't work its way into the pipe. Okay, I decided what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna cut out what's here and just leave the black with the white Grimmspeed for now. If I change my mind down the road, I can always adjust accordingly. Okay, well, I tried cutting the one side out without taking the bumper off, and I didn't get very far. I still got pieces hanging, and yeah, so it's difficult to get in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop the bumper off. I already took all the clips and the bolts out. Just gonna drop this thing down, and hopefully get to the back side a little bit. Start cutting this. Okay, now I'm just kind of trimming the rough edges with a razor blade. So I'm getting the razor blade as flat as I can up against the bumper. And I'm very carefully kind of shaving it. Okay, and now I have a little trick up my sleeve. So this piece here has texture on it that's just about the same as the texture on this bumper. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to basically glue some down in there. I know it's not going to look perfect, but it's going to look better in the hole. I think I'm going to end up going with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, and if anyone's wondering what this is, I got the JDM center console and it came with a new, so this goes in front of the shifter. So that's what this is. It's like a piece of rubber. And so I'm going to glue this in place behind that, and hopefully that'll be good. Okay, let me show you guys the final result here. Definitely looks a lot better from a distance. My only problem with it is when you walk up close to it, but you can see obviously where I cut. From a distance, you'd never know. You can still see plain as day where I cut out. But I think that is better than just a black hole there. So I might look into maybe see, I know people have the ETS intercooler and make like a plate that kind of goes around. So maybe I can get something like that or find a way to modify this bumper to make this work. But for the most part, it looks pretty damn good. Well, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this was helpful in one way or another. And I highly recommend this intercooler. You know, should you get the top mount intercooler or the front mount? I don't know. There's about a $600 price difference between the two of them. So it's kind of up to you to decide whether or not it's worth the extra price or if you should just go with the top mount. I should have went with the front mount from the beginning because my goals were always above basically what the top mount could handle. But I knew it would be a while till I got to that power level, so I wasn't worried about it. But now I'm having trouble with heat soak and that sort of thing. So I'm glad that I went with this one. It was a little bit of work, well, a lot more work than what the top mount was. I still have to take off the duct for the top mount and a couple other things, but for the most part, the install is finally done. So I appreciate you guys for sticking with me through this, and I will see you guys in the next video.